She put her foot on the gas, got the ad running. That should be the easiest part, which isn't if you're trying to run Facebook ads. The leads come in. The hard part in this business is what are the secrets to working with that lead once they come in?
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I'm your host, Jason Martin, and welcome, LabCoatAgents. Super excited to talk with the folks from StreetText today. We're going to talk about lead conversion secrets to 10x your business. You guys weren't shy. 10x your business. Like, we're not talking about doubling, tripling, quadrupling. We're going to 10 times our business. So you must have some secrets for how to do that. That's pretty massive growth. So let me go ahead and introduce everybody here. There's Brandon Goodhart. He's a Facebook ad specialist with StreetText. Ira McNamara, same thing, Facebook ad specialist with StreetText. And Gabriel is joining us as well. Gabriel, you're a coach. You're a StreetText client. Did I botch it? What else do I need to know about you, Gabriel?
Started real estate in 2002. Went from assistant to agent to trainer to coaching. I kind of naturally gravitated into coaching. I coached for Mike Ferry around starting 2010. Then I coached for Tom Ferry starting around 2018. I'm independent now, but I feel like the StreetText family is my online adopted family. They're so awesome over there, and I'm super happy to just be involved with them in any way.
This is kind of cool. I usually don't get the luxury of this. So usually we have the sponsor, but you're an actual agent, you're an actual coach, you're actually using StreetText. So we're going to go rely on this thing called trust but verify. So Brandon and Ira are going to say some things. I'm going to go, wait a minute, Gabriel, is this true? And we're going to verify it right on the spot. So you guys didn't know it was going to be this intense today. So let's jump right in. Brandon, when you say 10x, like that's what I look at. I'm an agent here in Washington, D.C. It's a time of year where everybody's businesses are hopefully mapped out and fully planned. This is really going to 10x our business, these secrets. What do you mean? You can't be serious, can you, Brandon?
Absolutely. It's just about coming to StreetText and taking advantage of our community. We got people like Gabriel, Jennifer Salter, Janky Patel, Leon. Everyone's coming there and providing information that they want to share. And why try and do that all by yourself when you can have people that are there helping you grow, helping you learn tools and secrets that you don't really know, that you're going to be able to apply that to your business. You're going to be able to come to the system, launch ads, choose a winning ad, and just be able to start bringing in leads at a very low cost rate. And like I said, you have a community and you're not on an island with StreetText. Like, you're really going to be supported by everyone to help grow your business. If that's looking for buyers, sellers, whatever that is, the one thing to note is you're always going to be supported.
How long, if I wanted to learn it myself, right? I think there's pieces that we would have to be good at, like understanding the conversion when the lead comes in, and we'll get into that. But on the front end, how long would it take if I'm just sitting out there and I'm watching right now? If I said, you know what, let me try and do this myself. How long does it take you guys to learn how to run ads, how to get your hook sharp? It feels complicated.
Yeah, I think that's what surprises people the most with us is they come in to start a trial, they hook up their Facebook page, they launch an ad, and then they all of a sudden have a lead come in already. And they're thinking, well, that was too simple to actually have worked. Because I don't know if anybody's used the Facebook Ads Manager, but it's like they purposely go out of their way to make you want to start drinking early. Like, it's not an easy platform to use, and more they're building it for people who have gigantic marketing campaigns. So, or marketing departments that are going to run all of their Facebook ads for them. So our platform, like, we start a 7-day trial, and Jake just dropped it there in the chat. Within that 7-day trial, we do a 30-minute demo. We assign you a coach, and we basically show you, these are the templates that have worked. This is how you launch them. It takes about 30 seconds. You want to launch them multiple times. You want to get the right audience. So we show you how to take the template, launch the template in you do it 3 different times, because each time Facebook's going to grab a unique audience. Within 24 hours, you're going to already have data on which ads are landing well. You pick your winning ad, and then essentially the place that people make mistakes, and this is why people like Gabriel are needed in the real estate world, is the place where we make the mistake is we think it's the lead. So we get an ad that's working and it's getting us leads, and then all of a sudden we have a bad interaction with the lead coming in, and we're like, oh, and we take our foot off the gas and we start relaunching the ads again. People that are winning and 10xing, Janky just announced she did 67 transactions with StreetText leads in her team in the last year. And
wait,
you know,
67?
Janky, yeah,
Wow.
so she's one of our moderators for LabCoatAgents there too. But I mean, she's done phenomenal with it. But let me tell you, Janky never took her foot off the gas. She put her foot on the gas, got the ad running. That should be the easiest part, which isn't if you're trying to run Facebook ads. The leads come in. The hard part in this business is what are the secrets to working with that lead once they come in? And I think a big starting point for a lot of people is they make this mental decision that if the lead doesn't talk back to me right away and list their house, that they're a bad lead. And that always ends bad. Their businesses never grow when you have that kind of thought process behind it. And that's why Brandon said our community is the best thing about it, is because it helps you get past that mental block that it's a lead problem. We'll solve the lead problem for you. We'll get leads in your account. Come and meet people like Gabriel, meet all these people in our community that are like, hey, here's my cards. This is what I'm doing. We should do this together. There's enough to go around.
Is it a longer term game? And forgive me, guys, if you're watching and you're like, hey, I'm coming from a spot of not playing this game currently, right? We'll close 250 transactions, but none of which are from Facebook ads. So I'm super curious. I'm going to come from a basic question. Is it a long-term game from the time the lead comes in? Are you seeing results 12 or 24 months after the lead comes in? Is it a slower drip game? Or are you seeing more immediate results?
I think Gabe could speak to that. Yeah, you go for it.
Gabe's
The
excited
answer
about
is
this one. I
yes.
saw him smile. Go ahead.
Well, it's because it's all of those answers. You know, when I recommend people to StreetText, the first thing I tell them is you need to be ready. The leads are coming. Okay. They're like, oh yeah, of course, I'm excited. I'm like, no, you need to be ready. What are you going to say? What's going to happen? What video are you going to send? Right. And I say that because some are immediate. Some people they're like, need to sell immediately or want to buy or whatever. And then there's the ones that need nurturing. And then there's the ones that are way down the road, you know, because it's like when you're door knocking. I remember going door knocking. Honestly, my very first listing, I was a kid in a suit, door knocking. I knocked, I did my thing. So I was wondering when do you plan on moving? And they're like, actually, we want to move soon. We want to sell. And I thought, oh my God, what do I do? I'm looking for my mentor. I'm looking around. Shout out Gil Mendoza at Bakersfield. But at the time it was in Oxnard. But people are ready, you know, some people are ready to go. You catch them at the moment they're thinking about it. And that's where you come in. And if you help them through the process of thinking about it and guiding them to make better decisions, overall, they're all going to have a better experience. So yeah, it's a long-term game when it comes to fine-tuning your systems and your processes and your videos and your responses and the bots. That's the long-term game. The short-term game is the lead comes in, you help them, you do great service, you get the deal closed, you put some more of that commission back into your marketing plan and keep it going. Just keep it going hard.
So Gabe, I'll stay with you for a second. Would you recommend building out the follow-up first? Like if you're just getting into it, how much time do you want to spend doing the build-up for the follow-up immediately? How much is that? I assume that's beneficial to kind of sharpen your sword quickly.
Yeah, it's absolutely beneficial, and you do want to build it out. You don't need to spend time building it out first. The awesome thing about any business, especially real estate, is that this is your business. You can design it however you want. Like there's somebody, I forgot the name, maybe Ira can help me, or somebody who built their entire StreetText business, and they're killing it on people who submit just an address. They don't even want to give you their name or phone number. They just put the address, and from that alone, she turned it into a huge real estate business. So to answer your question, no, you don't need to wait. You do what you know how to do right now. If I gave you a lead right now, you would know what to do. That's one of the most common things I get with my coaching clients. They say, I just need to get in front of people. If I just got a lead, I know what to do. I can meet with them, I can present, I can close. And that's fine, and it's true. But what they're not thinking about is volume. When you start getting 5 leads a week, 10 leads a week, 20 a week, that process no longer works. So you have to evolve with your StreetText, and it's not a matter of, waiting for it to be perfect, then starting. It's a matter of start, let the people come, do what you know how to do, and design it as you go for the perfection of your business, because it's your business. You don't have to, a lot of people tell me, oh, I want to do what they're doing. I go, okay, that's fine. Like, let's monitor, let's see what they do, but you got to design your business. They're doing what they're doing because that's how it worked out for them, right? So it's more of making it your own. And I think that is huge for when you're building your own team, branding experience for the client, is putting all of you into it.
Got it.
And one of the things that would help with StreetText is like when you launch the ad through us in your dashboard, it automatically has a funnel that's already built out. So not only are the leads going to click on the ad as soon as it goes active, when the lead comes in, they're also going to start getting emails that are already built out, and they're skeletal in nature. So the follow-up process is already sort of mapped out for you. All you got to do is what Gabriel's there saying is jump in and put you on it, put your videos in it, put your face on it. Even that being said, I laugh at the end of the day because I have examples in our community. Allison comes to mind, who's touched none of the skeletal follow-up we've done. It's all the ugly, generic, like not her face in it, just regular text. She hasn't put any video in it. She hasn't done all the fancy things that other people have done, yet she's still closed 9 StreetText leads. And her first one covered for StreetText, like for the next long while when she got her first listing come through. The key is Allison makes it hers and she follows up relentlessly. She personalizes the follow-up. So the automations then mean something, even if they're not the prettiest and the most perfect. She says I could probably 10x my StreetText part of my business, but it's a portion of what I'm doing and I'm happy with it. I put a lot of efforts into other things. Or somebody like Jennifer Selter, who's with our community, she's taken what we've done and 10x'd it with her. She's put her personality on it. She spent a lot of time, not all at once. She came to a mastermind, implemented one thing, came to the next one, implemented another thing. Across the course of 3 months, 4 months, 1 year now, she has a whole funnel that she's just been building on to all of this time, which is why she just listed her, I can't remember what number she's on. She just recently listed 2 in her insider group that came from StreetText recently.
And that leads me to my question. You started to answer some of it anyway. Who is StreetText for? Is it for the bigger teams? Is it for a newer agent? Who's your target audience and who does it work well with?
I think we built it so that anybody could use it. Our heart for the community has been, when you're first starting into real estate, you don't have all of the tools or marketing dollars to play with all of the different shiny objects out there. So, when we originally started, we started because people were just asking, like, you're doing really well with Facebook ads. Can we do it? We were manually building. We had somebody who spent 8 to 9 hours a day building all the ads for people, like in the ads manager. That was her only job. Like the fact that you can now go in, launch a 3-ad split test within 30 seconds and have 3 ads running just by clicking a button is pretty spectacular in itself. But when we originally started, we were like, okay, well, maybe we'll do a CRM component with somebody, we'll partner with somebody. But what we realized is we had so many people, like Gabriel just said, coming to us that had different ways their businesses were working. So we thought, let's build tools that play nicely, and let's provide that beginner agent with the resources and communities to be able to just use StreetText. We have a CRM, we have contacts you can follow up with. And the cool thing is like Jennifer Selter's an example of somebody who was a teacher that went to a full-time real estate agent. She says that StreetText helped her progress to a listing agent. Then you have Janky that comes on. She's like, I've done like, I started by 20, and then she's like, it's 30, now it's 67. And people are learning how Janky's leveraged herself. So she has a team, she has ISAs, she's found out what's working and she's leveraged it. So I think the answer is, no matter where you're at, there's components of what you're doing that you could just use StreetText to grow your business dramatically. Or when you start to grow, you reinvest in yourself and you add on tools like HomeBot and all those other tools that can really pull the whole system together to have instrumental impact.
I think it's fascinating that a newer agent, if they could afford it, and I do want to go into the financials with you guys, as long as you're willing to go there with me. I think it's fascinating that a newer agent that really has no clue what they're doing, and that's not a shot at anybody. I was new once and I didn't know how to open a lockbox, no joke. But you could jump right in, get leads immediately, and start to convert business and start to build a database and do it that way. It's a pretty cool way to do it. So walk me through a little bit of the financials. I understand it's 67. There's going to be ISAs. There's going to be an infrastructure built to support that. But what would it look like for somebody just jumping into it? Like what the financials, what would we expect to spend? What would the return on investment would be? Kind of run the range for me, for everybody that's out there listening right now.
I think during the trial, that's what we set up trial for, is because we want to help you establish in your market what Facebook ads are going to produce. And the key is learning the split test. Some people are so scared to talk to somebody that's going to sell them on something. So we find that people will start a trial. We assign them a coach like myself, Ira here, or Brandon, or Marcus, or all these different people we have at StreetText to help them get a grasp on those for their market. And what they do is they try to figure it out on their own and keep their distance from us. They're like, it's okay. I'm just like, I'll talk to you when I feel like this might work. And we're like, just let us help you, because we know in each market how your ad's going to land well. So, during trial, you don't pay for anything that StreetText does, but you still got to pay Mark Zuckerberg for your Facebook ads. But in general, $9 is where we start on a Facebook ad. And if you're in a market where, where Gabe is, for example, it's competitive, a lot of people are competing for that space on Facebook, then you're going to up your budget to anywhere around $15. So between that $9 and $15 a day. And we typically run 3 ads for a period of 24 hours. 24 hours, we'll start seeing some data and maybe turn one of the ads off. We will never run them longer than 72 hours. The thing with Facebook ads is people wait on them. They're like, I'm going to see what this does. A week later, Mark Zuckerberg's got a bunch of his money in your pocket, already decided what that ad's going to do. And you're just hoping and wishing that something's going to get better. We'll be able to tell you, no, this ad sucks, turn it off. That ad's good, keep running that one. This ad sucks, turn it off. And that's the cool thing. I don't know if anybody knew, but Facebook had some problems last week. They were like launching crazy amounts of ads that were sitting in people's historic part of their data. The cool thing about our community is we were able to give people a heads up, because there were tons of us using Facebook. Hey, guess what? This is going on. So that collaborative data allows us to define, like, this is what you're going to spend in your area. On average, the seller leads get around $6 a lead for at least the email. And on average, the buyer leads get around $3 to $4. And that's across all the ads running in North America.
Can you go deep with me a little bit? I love the concept of the 3 test pit ads, right? Is it guaranteed that one of the 3 will be the one that stands out? Do you ever have times where you re-rack and you got to do a whole another ad set of 3 again? And 24 hours, that's fascinating. The data comes in quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you run a split test and sometimes you won't get results in that split test. But generally, when you run a split test, you're going to get a unique cost per click, cost per lead, and cost per email from all three ads. I did a split test with a lady last week, and one of the ads had a $2 and change email. One of the other ads had a $7 and change email, and the other one she'd spent about $11 and not gathered a single lead. So on the one that had a $2 and change email at a $10 budget, she's going to receive roughly 4 to 5 leads a day. On the $7 budget, maybe 1 to 2. And the one that had gathered nothing, well, I mean, a bad ad is never going to all of a sudden get better, whereas a good ad is going to have that ebb and flow. You might get days where nobody comes in, but you don't want to jump the gun and be like, okay, this ad sucks and turn it off. You're going to watch the ad performance in the StreetText dashboard and monitor it from the lifetime to the last 7 days. And you're going to see what you're going to be able to go forward with. But always after 24 hours, generally, you're going to be able to make a clear decision on which ad to turn off and maybe 2 to keep going forward with. If you have 2 that are battling it out and the neck to neck and you don't know which one is winning, we'll let those 2 go further and turn that one dud off and then make a decision again after 24 to 48 hours. But yeah, you're going to see a result. Sometimes, you launch a split test, it doesn't land on that right audience. Maybe it was the image you used, because image is very important. If you just throw an ad out there for what's your home really worth, and got some kids doing some high kicking out there, one ad just could be a dud and the other ads could be a lot better. So you're always going to want to do that 3 ad split test, because it's going to give you a unique cost per click, email, and lead cost. So it's a powerful tool to use, and definitely recommend doing it every time you launch an ad.
I have 3 kids and a dog, and I quickly have my hand on the mute button as well. So anytime somebody knocks on the door, Scooby sounds the alarm. So I'm sure we'll experience that here in just a few minutes. Are you guys in just about every market currently?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Even Australia and New Zealand, we have some people using it. We have some people in Europe actually starting to use StreetText. Facebook, it's the attention economy. I mean, everybody's on this device for an amazing amount of time. It's actually, I wouldn't maybe use the word amazing. Probably we spend too much time on this device. But if you go where people's attention are, I mean, our businesses next year are going to be as big as the amount of conversations we can start. And just like Gabriel started by knocking on doors, you can go park your car in a neighborhood and start knocking on doors. You're going to get the same thing when you do it on Facebook. You're going to get people slamming their door in your face. You're going to get people, having conversations with you that are pleasantries, but you do it because you landed on that one person that was like, hey, no, I need to sell right now. So it's like, why not leverage technology and have Facebook knock on people's doors and start a ton of conversations while you're busy doing other things, and then double down on the people that are interacting with you the most. It's just a way of taking old time tactics and using new technology to do the same thing that has always worked: relationship.
And something I want to add to that
right now, let me know if this sounds better than door knocking. Hand raised. By the way, Gabriel, hats off to you for door knocking. And if you guys are out there, door knockers, that's all cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's fun. As long as the weather's
go
nice.
Get them way to do it. But boy, this sounds a lot easier than door knocking.
I wanted to add something to what I was saying. As far as it is like door knocking, and as far as the ad goes, you get replies on it, and some people, they click the like button or they'll comment instead of, they don't go through the motion of submitting their info and all that stuff. They're just interacting with their local realtor. So what I do that I don't see much on anybody else's is I start responding to them with video, whether it's a troll just talking crap, or it's some nice lady telling you like, oh, that's a nice part of town, or I would never move or whatever. I'll go on there and shoot a video real quick, 15 seconds, like, hey, Sandy, thanks so much for your input on this, blah, 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 whatever. And that starts to get that ad and that thread going. And I feel like it's like door knocking in a community, and everybody's just kind of coming out to see who this is, so you got to interact. And going back to the free trial, the people who don't participate from day one with the free trial, they reach out when they're about to quit. And that is a huge mistake. They need to sign up and immediately get involved with the team, with their coach, most importantly with the StreetText webinar on I think it's Wednesdays every morning, because that's how you're going to learn it, not by sitting on it for 7 days. Right before it expires, you go, oh, I gotta pay, let me reach out now. Like, don't do that, right? So just wanted to add that in there.
So how much time, and look, I'm sure it's like anything else in life, you kind of get out of it what you put into it. But what would be the expectations for people that are jumping in, whether it be on a small scale or big scale, medium scale, whatever? How much time would I expect to need to commit to this? And I won't call it mastery, because I think it probably continue to evolve. 10 hours a week, 15 hours a week? If I'm just jumping in, what would be the expectations of time commitment I would need to make it successful? And I know success is defined differently for everybody involved.
I think I was like, go ahead, Gabe.
I think the main thing is getting involved with the StreetText team. And I in my opinion, I think an hour a day might be too much, but it could be like a good way to start. And then as you get better, you could do, less or fine tune it, or maybe even more. It's up to you how much you want to fiddle with StreetText dashboard. Like for me, I don't want to. I want to know how it works and then do my thing. As far as how much time you want to dedicate to it entirely, is you definitely still want to prospect every day. Because remember, we're filling in the void that everybody has. Is who do I talk to? I don't know who to talk to. I don't know who to call. I already called all my friends. I already called all my family. This is the void that StreetText is going to fill, and you need to commit. This is my coach talking, right? The coach in me talking to you now. You have to commit a certain window every single day, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, up to 3 hours a day, whatever it is for you, to get the results you want, to make it worth it, right? So I'm going to say an hour a day for StreetText and an hour to 3 hours a day for reaching out to people, calling, texting, emailing, Facebook them, go door knock them, all of those things, right? So let's say total 4 hours a day right there alone. You're going to be busy, and you're going to have your systems in place, and your process and your presentation's got to be sharp so that you can get the highest return on your investment.
One of the things I heard in there, and this is for agents wherever you are in your career, and I run a pretty good sized team in DC, but I constantly hear agents newer in the business, I don't know who to talk to. And that is an ongoing theme. If you're doing 4 to 8 transactions a year and you want to do 24, what's your problem? You need more people to talk to. If you're doing 250 transactions like the Jason Martin Group and we want to do 500, guess what? We need more people to talk to. And I think this is an opportunity to add to that. And I think it's pretty fascinating. It feels like the type of the funnel, and we talk about funnels in this world all the time. Like the funnel getting filled up is not the challenge here. It's you're eliminating the funnel fill up as a challenge. So how you proceed after that funnel is filled up is interesting. So this is one question I always like to ask. When people don't have success with this platform, what's the top 2 or 3 reasons they don't have success with it?
I love that question. That's the question I always go back to. It's important to study success. So we've done a webinar here in the LabCoatAgents, or what are the commonalities between the people who are winning? I'll tell you one all the time that gets us. So we run a mastermind every week. On the mastermind, we open it up for people to share their wins. So people will come on, and sometimes somebody that we haven't heard from ages comes on, and they all of a sudden drop this bomb. I've done this many transactions. Janky was one of those where all of a sudden she showed up and she's telling us she's done this many, or this person's done this many. One of the first things we do as coaches is we jump into their account just to look at their account. And what we frequently find is that their ad sucks. We frequently jump in and we're like, oh, their ad's not that great. They could split test and probably get better results in their market. But you know what happened was they focused on the thing that was most important, which was the person that put their name in when they clicked on the ad, not the number of people coming through. So they're not spending all their time, like the commonalities between people that quit is the ones that quit are the ones that stop their ad because somebody replied in a negative way. The ones that forgot to be consistent. So every day they didn't follow up, they got too many leads going. And what they did was they just stopped it and said, oh, I'll get back to it. And 1 week turned into 2 weeks, turned into 3 weeks. And all of a sudden they're not following up. And then a lot of them are like guilty. Like I've had people like, Ira, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, don't apologize to me. Like, this is your business. Like, let's just put the shame aside and get back to work. So it's like really the consistency in terms of people is they become lead, I call it lead hoarding. Like, how many leads can I collect at the cheapest price? So as soon as the ad, like they'll say, oh, my ad's not doing well, and it's only gone up by $1. It's like not understanding your ROI. Like we had somebody with Josh on one of these webinars who he'd been with us for about 3 months and he'd closed about 4 StreetText transactions. And his words to Josh and I in an email was, I'm not really going gangbusters right now. And Josh was like, are you kidding me? Like, how much did you close in commission? And he took the commission and he took how much he'd spent doing StreetText and his Facebook ads. And he said it was a 47 times return on what you spend on StreetText. He's like, that's gangbusters. Like for every dollar you put in, you got $47 back. Like that's a pretty good ROI. So it's like just not understanding that our paychecks are big, but the space between them is sometimes too big, and we second guess our game in between those spaces. So people that know what they're doing and know what they're going for, they listen to the ones that aren't second guessing themselves in that space, in that void.
So a couple of things I hear there, and you guys have brought this up a few times, and most of this I'm willing to share just from a failure standpoint on my end, the negative responses. And I'm so used to that at this point in time in my career, so I can relate to it. We want to shell up as soon as somebody says, leave me the hell alone. Why are you sending me this ad? And we've gone through it in a farming capacity where I get people call me and be like, just yell at me. And then once you get past that fear, if you're going to scale a business, you're going to have that happen. Matter of fact, even if you have 6 or 12 clients, you're going to have a few that aren't happy with you. So I can help you guys with that. And I'm sure Gabe can as well. You're going to need to get past that in this business pretty quick. So we should remove number one. Too many leads. To me, that sounds like maybe kind of start slow and grow. Is that probably a better way to go about it than turning on the funnel right away and just having a influx of, it feels good to have 200, like what's the better approach here?
Yeah, we typically tell people to scale their budget so that the leads come in at a pace that they can keep up with, because the lead is no good if you don't have any follow-up behind it. So 2 things. 1, leverage your automations. Like Gabe said, video, if you want to 10x your business in the coming year, get your face on video, get your voice heard. Don't be using text and old time ways of communicating with people. Put your face into messages and put it into your automation. So you're talking to people when you're busy doing other things and your face is being shown everywhere in your automation. So automate yourself, but 2, lower your budget. So like Brandon said, that one ad that was getting $2 leads and you're spending $9, you're getting 4 leads about a day. If you can't keep up with those 4 a day and have a consistent habit with them, slowly decrease. And here's the key with Facebook, if you change anything, they think you're unhappy and they think they're in charge of your happiness. So don't change anything too quick, because if you do, they go and they wipe your audience and they try to find a new audience. So we tell people to scale your budget back slowly. Your leads are now going to come in slower at a pace that you can keep up with. Your leads are only, I have a guy that's getting 94-cent leads in Florida, and he's getting so many of them. And he keeps launching new ads. And I'm like, have you followed up with the hundreds of people last week that you got? And he's like, I haven't. He goes, I need to do that, don't I? Yes. Like, don't run any more ads. Slow your lead down. He's like, you're right. I'm on it. I'm doing it.
I got a takeaway from this, and it's kind of fun. So I'm a proponent of coaching. I got multiple coaches myself, but as I'm sitting here listening, and I'm not, I often say this on these, not getting paid to promote StreetText as much as I'm just an agent asking questions. I happen to be the host, but I'm sitting here listening, and I could almost go through this as a learning experiment for 12 months, because the things you're going to come out with from this is you got to get past your fears. You have to leverage your automations. This is business school right here at a high level. And
Absolutely.
You can apply this to any industry you're in. And the skill set that you're going to learn is going to teach you how to scale up. So if you want a bigger business, damn, Gabe, this is some of the stuff you got to go through anyway.
Yes, sir. That's, in my coaching, I focus on, like if you go on my website or wherever, I just say mastering the basics, the fundamentals, the principles of success. It's not rocket science. It's going through the motions, like, for example, when I learned this from Mike Ferry. He used to say, you're going to go through these phases, right? First, it's contactitis. No, leaditis, right? Leaditis. That's when you keep getting leads and you don't do anything with them. Then you move on to contactitis. It's when you get the courage, motivation, whatever, to start talking to people. So now you're talking to lots of people. Then you move on to appointmentitis, where you start to actually set appointments, because every phase, your brain at some point goes, oh, wait a minute, next step. And then you go to, appointmentitis, and you go to contractitis, and then you go to escrowitis, and then you go to closing-itis, and then you get paid-itis. And it's the same thing with all of the steps in your business. When I have people that are afraid to call or don't want to, or whatever the case is, I tell them, look, here's what I want you to do. I want you to call a certain amount of people per day. What are you committed to? And they'll say, oh, I'll do like 5 or 10. Perfect. What do you want me to say? I just want you to say hi. And they go, what? I just want you to start calling people every day at this hour and just say hello. And that's it. And you're not going to bring up real estate, right? And they say, no, you're not going to bring up real estate unless they do. If they do, it's your cue. Now you go to town. Now, because you've been practicing your presentation, you're going to know what to do, right? So they start doing this, and they start talking to people, and at some point they go, hey, you know what? If I only talk to homeowners, I'm going to get more deals. And I go, right. Like, yes, but you got to get through that little barrier first of just talking to people and get in the momentum. And then eventually they go, you know what? If I only talk to hot leads, like StreetText leads, if I only talk to for sale by owners, if I only talk to expireds, my business is going to go through the roof, because I'm going to do more in less time, right? But when we talk about lead conversion or sales, I think most people immediately, they just go, yeah, lead conversion, I got it. Boom, get a lead, get the appointment, get the listing, done. And they literally, like, if you imagine doing that on a date, right? Like, you get the lead and you want to go straight to the appointment and straight to the listing, right? It's not going to happen. You got to slow it down. To me, lead conversion is the phrase we use for breaking down the rapport process, like actual rapport, right? Getting to know someone, taking it slow, taking the appropriate steps in the appropriate order, which can be a little faster for some people, and for some it's going to take way longer. But you're still doing, like, you don't go to 3 unless you've done 2. And that's just the way it is.
What questions should I be asking? What do you guys want people that are watching to know that we didn't touch on?
I mean, I love what Gabrielle said there about, don't keep your distance from something. Like, don't be afraid to jump in and figure it out, and whether it's for you or not. Like, our philosophy here is we want to win because you're winning. Like, and if that translates into your business, we believe we're making your regions a better place. Like, we believe that if we're teaching you how to win because you're helping other people to win, then we're transferring something that's much needed in this world today. So it's like, at the end of the day, don't keep your distance, jump in, like look into the community. Like, we have people that hang around with us for 6 months and come to our insider group and learn stuff, and then they join StreetText because they're new and they just didn't have the finances to run a StreetText yet, but they use some of those things to better their business. So it's really about, just jump in and get started, do something that scares you in this next year. And if that's just taking your phone and recording a video while your kid's jumping around in the background, then send those videos out, because people need to meet real people this year. And your business, the secret is there is no secret. The secret is that, you need to open people up to conversations. And I was on Facebook. I did not Google how to sell my house this year. I was on Facebook looking to drown out my day, and I came across your ad and I clicked on it. And because I wanted something, and how you decide to serve me, not you, this year is going to determine what your business is going to look like in the coming year.
I love that. I love that. And 7-day free trial right there. We've got that in the chat. Brandon, you want any closing thoughts here?
I was just going to say, with real estate, there's this assess phase, like, for example, if you're going to go to, the grocery store and you're looking to buy either, this type of almond milk or this type of almond milk, you're going to look at the calories, whatever, and that assess phase is very short. But when it comes to someone looking to sell or buy their home, or buy a home, that assess phase is a lot longer. You got to work with them, provide value, nurture them, build a relationship with them. As we like to say, that like, know, and trust model. So you got to come at them with the mindset of building that relationship, and that these leads aren't just leads. These leads are people, right? They clicked on an ad, and you need to provide value for them. What are they asking for? They're asking for the 12 tips before they sell their home. Okay, give that out, send that out. Ask them if they have any questions for that. I've seen people come in and they launch their "What's Your Home Really Worth" ad. People come in and they say, "Oh yeah, I've updated this. I added a pool last year." And the first thing that someone says is, "Awesome, when are you looking to sell?" Well, if you do that, people are going to ghost you right away. You need to ask questions and give them more value of what they're looking for. And just know that assess phase of when someone's going to buy and sell a home is a lot longer than someone deciding if they want to go with this almond milk or this almond milk. So it's just about understanding that and nurturing those leads. Pretend these leads are your seed in your garden, and you're watering them, nurturing them, and letting them grow. And eventually, that's going to fruition into a flower. And so we had someone showing out our mastermind, I think it was last week, that someone that came in over 2 years ago in 2019 just came in and just made a deal. So it just shows that nurture and that relationship, and just talking with them as a real person, that's going to provide tons of value. And if you just go at them and say, when are you looking to sell? Like, they're going to ghost you.
Got it. Gabe, anything you want to close us out with?
Yeah, I earlier you asked about the trolls or whatever, people that respond negatively, and there's different ways you can deal with those people, because you're gonna get them. My favorite way to deal with them is to respond to them positively, like with the video. The latest one, some guy that works at Walmart, nothing against Walmart, but he's not in real estate, right? He said, "Oh, don't put your email, it's a scam." So I instantly put a video real quick in my house. I said, "Hey, what's up, Joseph? Gabriel Dean here. I just want to let you know it's not a scam. I just want to let homeowners know that I can help them with the home value of their house if they're interested, whether they want to buy or sell or whatever or not. I'm just here to provide a service." And that's it. And to every comment, positive or negative, I respond. That's my way of doing it. If somebody's just negative, like says something dumb, I just ignore it and I leave it there, and I let the public beat their ass, because they will, because most people are nice. And if somebody's on there being a jerk, somebody's going to step in, usually somebody or they know you, and they're like, "Hey, you're an idiot," or whatever, I just let them do it. I go, "Thank you for contributing to my algorithm, getting all this attention on my ad." But you just got to ignore it. If you want to even put a tiny bit of effort, you delete it. If you want to put a little tiny more effort, you block them and you move on with your life, because you cannot let these people who have nothing better to do, like, ruin your day or distract you. Or like, if you spend 1 minute on a troll, it's too much already. It's already like, just leave it. Just like, don't even worry about it, right? And where I'm going with this is, most people, they have uncertainty or fear about trying StreetText. It's a 7-day free trial. It's plenty to know. You get to go to the mastermind group. You get to log in, you get to run an ad if you want to. You can spend lots of money or no money, but it's a free trial. So starting the free trial, easy, do it. Some people are afraid of putting out videos. Like, you don't have to. Like I said earlier, this is your business. You design it how you want to design it. You want to go huge, you want to go super techie, you want to keep it real traditional and like straight up. When you get the lead, you just call them, and that's your process. That's where it ends. Good, do it. This is your business and it'll work. You just got to be ready because the leads are going to come. And that's the difference that makes the difference of who goes big and who goes home.
I got your tagline for you, StreetText. The leads are going to come. Be ready. That's it.
Yes,
That's all anybody
yes.
needs to know. All right. And just give me a royalty on that if you don't mind. I'd appreciate it. Well, listen, guys, happy holidays. I appreciate you being on LabCoatAgents free trial. There's also a link, a Calendly link in for a demo as well. I appreciate you guys being on, and we will see everyone next time. So long, everybody.
See you, Jason. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.